Good evening, everybody. RT here with Hxro Labs to check in on the market. We've got a bit of a down day for Bitcoin, although not a whole lot of movement on the weekly here. Just back down at the POC. Put in bearish market structure on the 4-hour and then dumped. It happened suddenly. It happened quick. Not a takeover in volume, but definitely an attempt by the bears to wake up. So let's keep an eye on this throughout the week because, again, we're not out of the woodwork yet. Right? We really just need to break above a few levels here. We're going to have to be cautiously optimistic as we approach these levels. Otherwise, as I've been talking about in the past month, it does look like we're ripe for a little rollover and a revisit here. And, the longer term bulls are actually excited for that. They're like, please do that because, they want to get in on that kind of a thing where you get your little inverse head and shoulders. So, it depends how you look at the market. I think we all want now, more. But realistically, markets don't care what we want, and we just have to trade and act accordingly, based on what we see. So that's what I'm here to help with and see if I can paint some pictures and help us understand what's going on when it's going on. Bitcoin dominance broke through this support. Might be getting a bearish retest. Not a whole lot's changed in the picture with altcoins. They didn't really jump off today. I think that's really bullish for what it's worth. $200 candle. Again, Bitcoin didn't break any major structures, so we wouldn't expect a ton of panic. I think there was like a 4-hour red candle on a lot of alts. But for the most part, it's been business as usual. Now, this is me diving off the deep end. I don't usually chart things off of top major exchanges just because life's easier when you only work with a couple of places. But somebody put this on my radar today, and so shout out to Pascal. He's a buddy of mine. He's a trader, and he said, look at Unibright. And he had this drawn up, and he's like, is it parabolic? Are we in a parabolic advance? And if we are, is this an interesting time to start looking at it? So I was like, it absolutely is. I think this is actually trading on Bittrex now on a BTC and ETH pair and a few other exchanges, smaller ones. This is the USD chart. And so this is a fib extension. So a quick little study on fib extensions from low to high. And so once this high breaks, you can get an idea of a target. And much like the RLZ I paint on all my other charts, this is a fib extension, can often paint for a reversal. And as you saw here, it worked perfectly, got right up into this area and then came back down. So this next extension is sort of like a logical next area to be thinking if this is what I think it is, which is a parabolic advance, which would mean from this low to this high, you put that same extension. So you get up here, which is, it's a decent gain. It's like a couple 100% from here. So UBTs want to be keeping an eye on. For me to like this a little more, I want to see it break back above this sort of 33.6 level. And as you can see here on the Bittrex chart, that would likely align somewhat with some little structure here on the Bitcoin pair. This is a coin sort of out of my usual wheelhouse that I'm going to be keeping an eye on because this thing had a crazy rally. Like earlier this year, it was trading for 2 cents. Now it's at 33. Like it's already done. It's clearly got something going on. I'm excited to learn more about it, and the chart looks okay. Now Stratus pulled right back in to that pump chaser zone after our video last night, actually right around 5,700 sats, and is now continuing on its way. Ren on the 4-hour has started to roll over after printing some bearish divergence on a few time frames. There's nothing wrong with that. It's got a crazy gain so far in the last little while. And, once in a while, if you're trading this, right? If you're like an investor, it's like, close your eyes for a little bit. But as traders, it's important to pay yourself. It's very easy to get stuck holding bags. I don't think I'm calling tops. Let's look at what a top, a top might look like. Like, okay, we have a confirmed top. Would have to break really below this level, right? And then you're probably going to have, so you got this structure, just say it did, right? So we're coming down. And then once that confirms, as a trader, I often will look for the squeeze back up because the bulls usually, in any situation are not really to give up right away. There's always people waiting to buy that dip. So it doesn't usually just go from straight up to straight down. There's often a big heavy bounce. And so in that case, after that structure confirms, sometimes you can get something like this. And that's like, you don't have to go very far to find an example of a top like that. If we go to Bitcoin from 2017, sort of the top, check this out. So you had that breakdown. It's eerily similar to Ren right now, right? Moving up on divergence on the MACD, lower highs, higher highs in price. And then you kind of had this big old breakdown. I guess arguably right here was the structure fail. But a patient trader who says, okay, let's see, you get back up, you draw this fib from this high to this low, and then you ended up with a sweet spot tag. What an exit! Could it happen for Ren? Absolutely. Is it going to have to cool off someday? Yup. Why not here? I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of resistance trend lines like we saw in Ren, look at ARPA today. Just smack into this thing. Really ran through it, but look, you can see the dailies just come down and is just hugging it right now. I imagine this thing has to cool off. What a nice rally today from ARPA. KSPRZ, basically drawn up with this fib, is something you can take from this consolidation, from the low to the high of it. And the idea, I guess, is that there's just this pent up energy, and then as it extends at the 4669 and the 877, it can draw these like bullish or bearish targets. And they don't always hit, but when you're up in no man's land, sometimes these things can help you out with some targets. And again, going back to Bitcoin, you can see this actually worked really nicely on the big dump. This is where Trump tweeted out about the European border ban, and sure enough, drew up a little chaos fib, and I was amazed that it just tagged it. I was just studying it at this point, I wasn't trading it, but this thing does play, so have a little fun with that if you want. Dogecoin's cooled off as you'd expect after its wild TikTok-driven pump, and there's two real options here depending on what kind of trader I want to be. I can do what I usually do, which is wait for it to come and consolidate down into here, put in W and continue, hopefully. But on a more aggressive market, there's always this pump chase fib we've been talking about, and that is just parked in it right now. We already kind of had the RLZ tag here, so not too crazy to think that it might reverse here. Pump chase fib says AE has done its retrace and is ready for more, and price is showing us that today. That's all tonight from Hxro Labs. If you like this video, give it a like, throw us a subscription, hit the bell. I'll be live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. streaming through TradingView, also streaming forward to YouTube. So if you want to catch us here or there, be my guest, join us, come in, talk charts, put out some suggestions, and we're just going to be crushing the market for the full hour and see what we can find. So hope you have a wonderful night, everybody. And remember, always play from a position of strength.